Episode 154, Ryan Hurd finally makes his appearance. We've been asking for you for about how many years?
Well, we've come a long way, haven't we?
That's true. What was it? I forgot the name of the bar, but 3-4 years ago when we were hanging out with you.
We were in...
Red Door.
No, here. There was a bar here where we were like, you gotta come back.
Well, we met him at Bub City.
You were just starting out.
We met him at Bub City for a show, and then we went over to... what the hell's that bar in Hubbard?
That's what I'm talking about.
Right next to Slurping Turtle. Rest in peace.
Oh, yeah,
I don't know. We went to a bar.
Hubbard Inn.
Hubbard Inn.
Yeah.
Hubbard Inn.
Great times.
But then another bar by Northwestern Hospital. Something.
Yeah.
But
many bars, man.
Things are going well. You've written a lot of number ones. You have a baby on the way. But we are drinking Corona, so we're gonna start with this. 38%. You saw this thing trending?
I saw you just tweeted it out.
Well, you saw it trending too. I had to tweet it because I bought this yesterday actually, and then wake up this morning, we're like going over some notes just to have you on, obviously.
And I believe you requested Corona for this podcast years ago. Maybe a year ago.
But it is your go-to, right?
Yeah, man. I have been a Corona dude for a long time. It's starting to taste like just water to me, so I mix it up. I like Miller Lite too. And pretty much any beer. I'm definitely a beer dude. And then I drink some tequila every once in a while. And I've been getting into these vodka sodas.
What's that?
Called Canteen. It's like a vodka soda in a can. It makes me feel like it's not as bad for you.
Feels healthy.
Feels healthy. And then you have like 3 of those and you don't really feel it. Or you don't think you feel it. And then you're not as hungover in the morning. But that's basically catching you up on like the last year of alcohol.
What was the Michigan beer that you're a big fan of?
I'm a Bell's guy.
Yeah, we get that sometime.
I'm from Kalamazoo, and I was born in Chicago, and then went to high school in Kalamazoo, Michigan. So Bell's beer is like a staple up there. It's like the third biggest craft brew in the country now. That brewery. So
wow,
it is pretty.
Like that.
Oberon. Right?
Oberon, Two Hearted. They have tons of great beers.
Two Hearted is a good one. But is it not comical and hilarious at the times we're living in with social media and stuff where 38% of America is afraid to drink?
I do think it's fun. I was like, how did this virus get named? Is what I want to know. If it's from Asia, right? Like coronavirus. Okay.
That was at first when it came out. It was like, oh, people were like scared about Corona. I'm like, oh, that went away. And then now today, after that poll came out, I don't know who did it, but
I told everyone last night at my show. It's like everybody. It's at every show I say it. Be nice to each other, please. Last night I was like, wash your hands and be nice to each other.
Well, that's why I was like, when I was cutting the lime, I was like, oh, is this like a weird moment if you're a big germ guy?
No, I'm not.
Do you see fights at your shows ever?
I've had a couple fights.
You ever say anything?
Well, the first one I just started last year. Started doing like headline club shows, and my first show ever was at the Troubadour, and I was all excited because it was sold out in Los Angeles, West Hollywood. Literally song 5, massive girl fight, and this girl was hammered in the very front, and then turned around. I watched it all happen. I didn't know how to handle it. But she turns around and just chucks a beer bottle at another girl 5 feet away. And I was like, oh shit.
She connect?
Not really, but it was like, holy shit. And then the security comes over, and I didn't really. This is my first ever headline show, my first ever time seeing a fight during my set. It was I had no idea how to handle it because they were going at it and 2 groups of people, and I just kept playing. I was like,
that's a quick way to go. If you depending on how the artist handles it, we've noticed a lot of our some of our viral posts over the years that aren't necessarily the artist singing. If they're breaking up a fight, the way in which that happens, if it's funny or if it's weird or if they can't handle it, or the fans seem to get a real big kick out of that.
The couple other times it's happened since, luckily it's been in between songs, I see it and I can just yell at them real quick.
Yeah,
but security was on that one, so that's why it was weird. But in hindsight, I would have stopped because it was massively distracting.
Yeah,
and it.
Does the band ever see it before you do, and you can hear them? Nobody playing?
I mean, I don't know if you've listened to my music lately, but it's not exactly fighting music.
No, that's
right.
So it doesn't happen very often.
Well, if the girls were fighting, maybe they were upset about something going in, and they got heard a song.
One girl got really upset with me, and like hit me up on Instagram afterward and had this long thing about how like, because the security just kicked them all out and they shouldn't have. But I have no idea how to handle it. Like what am I gonna do? I didn't kick you out.
You expect security to take care of that.
They did, but they kicked everybody out, which was the problem.
The whole group.
They should have kicked just that girl that was chucking beer bottles at everybody.
And her friends are like, yeah, they should have thrown my friend out, not me.
Yep. And but I don't know. That stuff, nobody likes that stuff, man.
No, I know, and some of the videos are hilarious. Justin Moore at Joe's Rosemont, right?
Sure, it happens every show.
Yeah.
He told the guy
He's like, come here. He threw a beer at a girl. The guy did. And he goes, if you do that, or what do you say?
Slit your throat.
It's something like, if you do that again, I'll beat the fuck out of you.
So that was like one of our, back in the day, our like biggest viral, like just like funny like fight videos.
Jaron jumped off stage one time.
Jaron jumped off stage.
Broke his guitar.
Yeah. I saw Cole Wessel jump off stage on Twitter.
Cole Wessel did that.
Cody Johnson has a famous one where he like does like the speech and he's like tells the guys like take him outside and
beat his ass. I feel like putting a hit on somebody from the stage is probably frowned upon.
Aaron Lewis is a master at that.
Aaron Lewis is always like, somebody punch that guy in the face.
I'm probably not going to be that guy.
Yeah.
You know, you come to a Ryan Hurd show.
The puking, do you ever see that? You ever see a little bit of a...
Maren had a puker last year that was pretty...
Like up front?
Yeah.
That's gotta be fun.
And it was like...
That would screw me up.
They have like stage fans, so it's like blowing the smell up onto the stage.
Oh no.
I don't know, that stuff doesn't... We don't get a lot of that. No. But most people come out and they just want to have a good time, and I'm lucky because like I have a lot of fans that love my whole catalog. And it's not just like the one song that's been on the radio.
Yeah.
Like drunk people.
Nope. Yeah. All right. We pull drunk people. So,
well, yeah, we have.
I want to know why, because it's my favorite song.
I'll send it to you in an email. Maybe you guys can just put it up on. You guys can own it. I don't care. So like the timeline of Ryan Hurd. I was a songwriter who made an EP, which is how we met, right?
Yeah.
Panorama.
Great. Yeah.
And I had no intention of being on stage or making records. I just was a writer who made a little record for myself and to like pass out in town. Long story short, got a record deal. When I signed my record deal, we pulled that off of the internet. Just start over. So that's when we put out that first EP, basically in pieces. And then put out Love in a Barter Radio. Went to the soaring heights of 53 on the charts. Then
it's better than nothing.
Didn't tour in 2018, just because I was like kind of resetting, and we got married, and then ended up doing a lot of work. I put out Diamonds Are Twined, To a T in Michigan for the winter all in a row with the Highway, and that really kind of gave me like my own fan base, and then Then To a T went to the radio. I think it got to number 20. That's the highest that it got. And now we have cut like half a record and are putting out a new single to radio in the next like month or two. So that's like my timeline, the short version of it. But we met so I was walking in here, and it's funny because when we met, it was like, you guys were my first ever interview ever.
Mm.
I was sitting in my car outside of Fenwick's. You guys been to Fenwick's yet?
I don't think so.
Fenwick's is like the like music breakfast spot.
Okay.
It's like you go there to like.
That sounds very familiar.
Be seen. You go there to like have your meeting, be seen.
I hate that shit.
So,
what was that breakfast place?
We were at the Edge Hill Cafe, I think.
That place seemed the same way to me.
It was very similar.
It's like the low key Edge Hill. Edge Hill Cafe is gone now.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's now Jack Brown's Burgers, which is
that sounds like a bummer.
Awesome.
Oh,
it is good.
Awesome. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay then. Good.
When are you guys coming back to Nashville?
Probably pretty soon.
Yeah.
We got it with the baby coming for me, like.
Yeah, congratulations, man.
And you as well.
It's been an awesome. So like you guys. So you are having a baby, and you got married, and I'm having a baby. So it's like
a lot of life changes, right?
It's growth. It's awesome.
How old are you?
33.
33. So yeah, it's like the perfect time, right? I'm turning 32, so it's just kind of
31.
Maren's about to be 30, so she was like, "This is happening now."
I feel like that's like a time.
I feel like my wife's about to be. She's 28, but she's like, so let's start thinking about that baby. And we just got.
My wife's actually 33. She's older than me, so it was kind of like I knew going in basically like. there wasn't going to be this like 4-year wait.
Yeah, that's good. I think for Maren, it was time either way to like take a break. She's been touring nonstop for like 3.5 years, and so she was ready to. She just needed like a mental, like reset. Like not that she was like burnt out, but like albums out, did really well. But it was a good like time to have like 6 months off.
Yeah.
Just to like be a human and.
I mean, you do get burned out. I mean, you're human.
It's hard to be creative for that long, like that much in a row. It's hard to tour, and so she either whether she was pregnant or not, I hope that she would have. I think this is when she needed to like take a break, but the timing actually worked out really perfectly, just because, like it's more about like, for me, like as humans, we both feel really settled, like like really comfortable with ourselves and like individually and together, and it was like so that part of the timing really worked well with the work part. So it's cool, man. It's all good.
Yeah, it's an interesting. We were talking before we hit record. Like it went by pretty fast for you though. Like the pregnancy.
Oh yeah.
The actual the guys out there, you know what I'm talking about. Like we right now, my wife's like 7 months pregnant ish. We talk about stuff that happened like month 2 or 3, and it seems like it was 5 years ago. But it also went by super fast. It's like a weird combination of
totally agree with you.
Fucking mental like, and good. I haven't gained any weight, but that was pretty fun. The first trimester was the craving one. It seemed to be.
Yeah.
So she was craving fried chicken all the time. So we were just one night it was Wendy's fried chicken sandwich. One night it was we have a place called Gus's here that's also in Tennessee. I think we have another like just fried chicken all the time. Pizza.
Dude.
So we would, at 10 o'clock in bed, getting ready to go, she's like, I'm really hungry. I'm like, oh, get a McDouble or an ice cream or pizza or...
We are setting ice cream records, man.
Okay.
That's awesome.
See, I like, what kind of ice cream though? Is it...
Maren likes Talenti.
Oh, that's great stuff.
Oh, yeah.
It's really good.
So it's simple. It's not like Rocky Road ice cream. I'm not...
She likes the caramel truffle, which is not...
You're not overwhelmed with like stuff.
There's stuff in that.
But not, is it an insane amount?
It's a little much. I like it. I liked it more at the beginning. I am a Ben and Jerry's guy. Ben and Jerry's, because you can get it delivered to your house and you get it the hand-packed stuff, so they'll scoop it and put it in the pint and then take it to your house, and it's like the perfect consistency.
I was going to say, do you let it sit? If it's too cold in the freezer, you have to let it sit
Just a little bit. It's got to be like that, firm, but it's got to be spoonable.
Yeah.
I don't want to be like chiseling away at this shit. But I have had the exact same experience where like it does go by really fast, and it's actually really fun. Like we're lucky that she hasn't had like any like sickness really, and she's a little uncomfortable, but she hasn't had like a bad pregnancy at all, and that's been really cool. And we're like really blessed by that, but it does go like so fast.
Yeah.
Because I think it's just because you're constantly planning,
Yeah. And then you're just... I've actually heard too, you mentioned like the, just time off and whatnot, but I've actually talked to some people that on the creative side of work or whatever, and they actually said when they had the baby that they got like more creative and more like in tune with certain aspects of, like I was worried like the baby might come and then I'm gonna be like so focused on not just the baby that I won't even be able to think about anything else in life. And then a lot of people are like, no, it was the opposite for me. Like they got more creative. They got more. Do you think you're gonna like go off of that with songwriting or you just let it?
Right?
It's also what everybody says is like you don't really know until it's there. Some people are like, oh, this shit about I love him right away or her whatever. I don't know. And then some people are like, no, like right away I felt it. And so I've heard like every variety of.
Do you guys know what you're having?
We're having a boy.
Do you have a name?
We do. We haven't told anybody. It's the only thing we haven't told people. Yeah, it could be. I don't. Yeah, my rule is I don't tell people with microphones.
Yeah. Say it here. That way, all these other sites can fucking credit us.
That it would definitely.
Well, we did the bad thing. We're pretty sure we have the name, and then I kind of like told it to my mom thinking she'll keep her mouth shut, and of course didn't. Started fucking telling everybody.
No. Yeah, they don't do that.
Yeah.
So 2 things. Yes. I'm excited to see like what the creative thing is after that. In Nashville, there's like baby luck is like a real thing. like for songwriters especially, it's like there's a lot of dudes who just have a baby who have some real success after that.
It's like a superstition that's like...
It's more, I think it's like half that, half coincidence, and half like your mindset changes, because it's not just you fucking around anymore. It's like, oh shit, I gotta provide for something.
Yeah.
It's like not a joke anymore.
It brings
like,
out the best.
So it sort of like makes you sharp. And what was the second part of that? Just how fast it went?
Yeah, how fast it went.
It does, man, it flies. And but that's the only thing we haven't said is like the name. Everything else is like, we've kind of been out there with it, because I didn't have to do like some stupid gender reveal where I like had to wear a helmet and hurt myself or something. You know what I mean?
But
like,
you guys didn't do anything like that.
No, we just said like, we're having a boy.
Thank you. Like,
yeah.
I appreciate that, because a lot of I'm not gonna name names, but a lot of other artists,
we're not.
They take the paycheck and they go to People magazine and they fucking do a little party pop, and then
we don't do that.
Or they kick over a thing of
that's
fucking
real money.
Johnson and Johnson that's pink or blue.
Sure, that's real money. Those People things. We've just never done it because.
But I mean,
we you know, you kind of pick your spots with like how you use your image. I don't know, like those people, obviously, like, go for it and like get paid, and if you really want to, like, it's not just getting paid, it's making sure that you control like the narrative on all of your personal life, and part of that is like making sure that one outlet has. I totally understand it. We've just never really been those people, and we've never done anything like that really, and
I respect.
maybe once I think we did like an ad thing for our backyard that had it like that component.
But
it wasn't.
But
like,
wasn't it like it wasn't a Corona? I thought wasn't that a Corona?
It might have been part of it.
Yeah, so
these things all.
That's like okay, like
it wasn't like
if it's booze, I'm like I'm not. No, seriously though, like I'm like okay, like look, somebody's gonna pay you to drink basically, and drink for free. I'm like kind of like.
Oh, that part I'm not. I'm just saying like the People magazine, like.
That's where I kind of get annoyed. I feel like, and you probably do too, Wes. Like sometimes it's just like okay, like you can still do your awesome little shoot thing and just post on your personal Instagram and be like, hey everybody. But if you really want the money, you can go to People.
What I don't understand and have never really understood is like
People's huge, obviously.
There's people who do that who do not need whatever money they're getting.
That's the point.
That's the thing that I don't understand. But I do understand controlling like the press part of it, because that part can get a little wild.
Well, even like a Thomas Rhett has really like branded his like family as like the whole package. Like he's the family man, and like that's part of his brand, and like whatever, it's cool. Like seems like a good guy, but like
he's a great dude.
Yeah, you have like no.
That's all real.
Yeah.
He's a very special.
He's got a good sense of humor, because we make fun of some of his shit, and he'll post something and he'll say like they like one song, and like he'll tag us, and so he's got a good sense of humor.
We'll bust his balls here and there, and he'll kind of respond.
Because we especially loved his music at the beginning. So.
But you guys have no interest in kind of branding the Maren Ryan family.
We already have a brand, but no, we're not gonna like black this kid's face out, like you see, like. We're not gonna do like the Ali Wong thing where it's like you'll post a photo of you and your kid, but their face will be blurred.
Oh,
yeah.
You know, that's like weird. That's like weirder than not posting about your kid. So we're not gonna like. I think what we've decided is like you'll see pictures of this guy, but it's not gonna be like not very much.
Like real life.
Yeah. I don't know. I've had a really hard time lately. Of like the Instagram thing, because I found like myself only posting like tour photos and stuff, and nobody really cares. Like
you don't turn into Brad Paisley.
Putting your earplugs in, or
I'll turn into Brad Paisley with that. We talk about that.
Just like it's like all it is like Louisville was awesome, and then like you see all the crowd, and then you see me playing the guitar, and like people. It's not like it's just the same thing I've been, but I've also been like really happy with my personal life and haven't had like a desire to like I've been so uninspired to like put pictures of it up. I don't know why.
That's a good way to put it. It's how I've been.
I was gonna say I feel like the exact same way. I posted a picture in August, and then I posted a picture at my wedding, and I was like, "Fuck, I gotta be posting more shit on Instagram." Like
for us, we just need to post more in terms of just like whiskey riff behind the scenes, like fun, like interactive, like just stuff, but not. I don't think the whole thing with like the baby. I'm with you. Like I'm not look, I'm not gonna be posting stuff all the time. I post my dog if anything more than like.
But I get what you mean about being happy and comfortable and like I just don't.
Well, you know you're happy and like you know you're in like when you're not like I gotta post this because we know plenty of people that like first thing they fucking think of is I gotta post some shit. Like I gotta put this image out there. I gotta say how happy I am or how much I'm balling or just fake it till you make it shit. And, which Nashville has a lot of that, which I wanted to ask you about. But
there's a lot of that. I just don't think that people buy a ticket because of a picture I put on the internet. No. And I have realized that I can be myself and I can put stuff out there when I am inspired to and I have funny things to say but lately I've just been like chilling and like I was walking in here and I was like I had an epiphany. It's like we have like a run of sold out shows and I have 2 photographers out, which is awesome. They're awesome girls. They're so talented. And then like I always realize that they post better pictures of me than I do because the ones that I pick out end up not being as cool as the ones that they pick out. So I just, as I was walking in, I was like, I make a phone call and I called Nikki and was like, hey, get my Instagram password and you post the pictures and you make the caption because it's always better than mine. So literally, as I was walking in, I was like, I'm changing this up. I don't want to do this. I don't want to put, my job is write the songs, make the records, play the show. And I have amazing people around me that can just put the damn picture up without my help. And they're better at it than I am. And they're creative, and I'm not. And it's like The Office, Ryan Howard. They're creative, you're not. And the personal life thing, man, I get that people build fan bases by letting people into every part of their life. But as far as like my business, like man, I make money writing songs and riding on a bus. And really what people cared about is, do they like that song? Mm-hmm. And do they like your music? And have you built a fan through like actual like human connection?
Right.
And that's what I've really have felt. That's the way I think Maren's done it too. And I think a lot of people, I mean, there's tons of people who can make money on Instagram too. I've never had one person ever offer me money to like, can you post this? Yeah. Like never. And
those coffee companies aren't paying you in the morning when you're
hell no.
How much are those bags costing you? There's a really fancy grocery store right here called Plum, and they have like the most expensive coffee we've ever seen per bag.
How much?
It was the most expensive 30
something.
I've never bought a $30 a pound of coffee, but I think
they have regular stuff for $8.99.
Dude,
that's the cheapest.
Most of the coffee I buy at our Plum is called Turnip Truck. It's in East Nashville, and I think it's like $13 or $15 a bag, and I don't mind that.
About right.
I've been buying $9 orange juice for the last year,
so
I'm like ready to rock. Yeah, man, you gotta have good beans.
Yeah, we brought back from Costa Rica like 10 bags of coffee.
That's the shit. Do you guys watch Curb Your Enthusiasm?
I watch it in whether it's a viral clip on Reddit or like you gotta watch this episode, but I haven't watched it like consistently.
You have to watch this season.
Okay.
It's
back, right?
Yeah, I'm buying my whole band. I got so tired. Did anyone watch Curb Your Enthusiasm? And they're like, no. I bought them all HBO Go passwords so they can watch it so that I can have someone to talk to about this shit on the road because I'm tired of like being like, oh, you got to see this show, and they're like, well, I don't.
You should have texted us before the podcast. We would have watched it, and we had something to talk about.
Dude, I thought this is off color, but I'm a safe place.
It's a very safe place.
I thought I knew all the dick jokes. I've been learning new dick jokes this season, and it's hilarious. Like the 13-year-old Ryan is giggling so hard.
He's brilliant.
Please don't use that as the Twitter.
Do you remember?
Ryan,
but Dick, it would do well.
Dick jokes.
Do you remember any of the good ones?
Or? Yeah, tell some.
Oh man, I mean it's public, but
we could look at it. We could maybe throw it at the end of the post when we post.
JB Smooth makes a comment about a wedgie, that is just Maren put she put a video of me laughing at it on the internet. And I was just like falling out of bed. It was so funny.
Is that your favorite show? What do you got?
Man.
You watch The Outsider?
I haven't watched that. It's supposed to be pretty freaky, right?
Pretty freaky.
Yeah.
So I just
starts amazing for me, then it kind of.
That's what everybody said.
My wife literally has nightmares when I watch it. Like she doesn't like it.
Yeah.
And then I hear her in the middle of the night like, like screaming, and I'm like, hey, wake up.
Jesus.
I hate Supernatural. Like I love Freaky if it seems logical and potentially real and believable, and it starts that way, and then it turns into this like weird supernatural thing, which I didn't even know what the Stephen King the Stephen King book was about. So I got kind of let down. I don't want to do any spoilers, but like,
hey, dude, I'm not gonna watch it.
But no, even just like Jason Bateman, I like him in these weird shows. Like he's the same
like
guy.
Him in Ozark.
Yeah, so he's the same fucking guy.
He is.
And I'm like, okay, this is awesome. And then he's just like, he doesn't make it that long.
He's kind of the same guy in every role.
He is. It's just a different situation.
Right.
He's literally Michael from Arrested Development, just trying to watch.
It's like Ed Helms is like that, right?
Yeah.
From Hangover. He's always kind of like Ed Helms. It's like the character. That's him.
Some people just have that like role and they just do it really well, and good on that.
I've been watching. I started Better Call Saul. That's been on my iPad.
I was a huge Breaking Bad fan, but I never.
It's awesome. I actually really like it. It's like. It is. I've watched the first season. I just finished the first season last night.
That's a good show though. What's the worst? Cause I watch a few good shows technically, but what's like a bad show that you watch? For me, it's The Bachelor. It's like the bad show that I watch.
So
also, Guys Grocery Games.
That show's terrible.
I watch it. It's on every fucking night at 9:00. If we lay in bed 9:10, whatever, it's on for fucking 12 hours straight. You watch it. Maverick the dog jumps in.
I like Triple D.
Triple D's good too.
But I hate
Guy Fieri is so fucking annoying. But I watch the shit.
I saw somebody, maybe it was you, maybe somebody else, but somebody tweet out like, Anthony Bourdain was really mean, and like
he was hilarious.
Really snobby about food, and everyone loved him. And Guy Fieri's just trying to like go make these mom and pops some money on TV, and they think he's a douche. I was like,
one of the best videos ever is Bourdain talking about Guy Fieri. This is a real tweet.
Yeah.
You don't even believe it. You feel like it's a Photoshop.
I'm a huge Bourdain fan.
Me too. That changed the course of my life. His first book. Like honestly, I was dropping out of college and shit, and read that, and I was like, I'll get my degree and kind of stick through. But that was like we were in Nashville for CMA Fest when he died. I woke up to it hungover, and like I cried more for that than I have. Knock on wood, like I haven't had a lot of deaths in my family, but that to me like affected me a lot because that guy was a huge part of my life in every way. But there was a video of him busting Guy Fieri's balls about Guy Fieri tweet. He had a restaurant called Johnny Garlic's.
Oh yeah,
such a name. And
of course he
tweets, he's like, gonna go check on Dust Staff, like D-A, like Dust Staff, and then heading out to the Nickelback concert. Like, 100% a real tweet. And then there's a video on TMZ, too, of his, like, hairstylist getting in a fist fight with him, and Fury's trying to, like, kick him out of the SUV. So it's just like, but then in Chicago 2 weeks ago for the All-Star game, he went to a club, and, what's the white rapper name?
Macklemore?
No, he's still popular, this guy.
Sorry, man.
What's the guy? G-Eazy.
Oh, yeah, G-Eazy.
He's rapping. I think it's at like Tao, this really like.
Oh, Tao, yeah.
And Guy Fieri just stands on
his caliber.
Guy Fieri stands in the DJ booth and starts throwing out condoms.
Yeah. Oh, nice.
Guy Fieri's married with kids. He's got a kid in college. He's got a wife. He's happy.
Throwing out.
He's just
rotors from the TJ booth.
I think Barstool posted it, but I couldn't confirm it was condoms, but it's Guy Fieri standing throwing. It's got to be condoms. Otherwise,
it's either that or wet wipes
or Parmesan cheese packets that you get at like a takeout place.
The KFC.
So it's like Guy Fieri has that element where it just it keeps me just pulls me back in every now and then. But he's annoying, man. He puts like brisket in a fucking sushi roll. He does like shit that like offends my like food knowledge.
Yeah. You watch him every night.
That's the thing. I was working on a tweet about that. I'm like, what's one person that annoys you that you actually look forward to watching? And I was like, this fucking one guy in my entire life is Guy Fieri.
He haunts your dreams.
And then The Bachelor's the other bad show I watched though.
I watched one season of The Bachelor and started live tweeting it and realized I was stuck.
Well, I was gonna say I remember you doing that.
Yeah, and I watched it and I started not looking forward to it.
I could see you watching it with Maren and like doing that whole thing.
Yeah, it's after that season I was like, you know what, it was Colton's season.
Oh yeah, God.
Like I cannot.
That goes too much.
I cannot do it. I just.
It's a bad season.
It got when you have to watch it and tweet about it, which is what I felt like I had to do because I had started it and people were like,
paying attention.
They were like tweeting at me like all week, like can't wait to see what Ryan says about The Bachelor. Like I just cannot make this part of like my life.
2 hours. I got stressed.
That's what pisses me off is it's 2 hours long.
Well,
It's every Monday.
I was having to get like last Monday. I tweeted. I was eating and it was like a really good dinner. I was hungry. Just didn't feel good coming home, and then I was like, all right, I'm gonna smoke some weed and I'm like, fuck. 7 at night, I gotta watch The Bachelor and tweet this shit now. So I just put it on.
Yeah.
The thing is too that people will like, why the fuck you guys watching that? We're like, dude, get married.
One
figure it out
like
really
one
quick.
guy for every like 100 that interact is like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
But, like I'm just like, we've been doing this from day one basically.
Well, those guys.
But it's like, it's a funny show. Well, this year was funny because the Chase. Your buddies with Chase, right?
Yeah.
He had that whole thing. I don't know if you watched that.
I texted his manager Bruce about it. It was like, no way, that was real. He's like, oh, it was real.
Yeah. That was fucking hilarious.
He's like, they did not tell him.
And she's the craziest fucking chick on this season by far.
Yeah.
She's been in the final 3. Yeah.
Oh, good. There's down to 3 now, huh? All right. Well,
Nobody likes Victor. Maybe some do.
Many blessings on their pending nuptials.
I mean,
I can't really. I met Hannah B.
Oh, yeah? She seems like.
She's sweet.
Yeah.
We met her at the CMAs. We walked by and she was like, I love your song.
She came on the first episode of this season.
And I assumed that, like, yeah. I assumed that she was just talking to Maren and she stopped me and she's like, I love 2T so much. It's one of my top 10 played this year. I was like, oh, wow, okay. It was awesome.
Well, it's funny how that becomes. I was gonna ask you about the whole Nashville fake it till you make it thing, because how much of that do you like? For us living here, part of the reason we've taken off the way we have without like.
Man, I'm behind on these beers. I'm sorry.
Oh no, go ahead.
Sorry.
But we never like. I feel like not being in Nashville over like for the the course of Whiskey Riff has helped us so much. Just like put our heads down and just work, post content, post, go. Whereas like when we go there, we just feel this weird sense of like, oh, like hey, yeah, drink all the time. That's one thing we can't get anything.
Go be seen.
And it's like everybody. You always feel like there's somebody's like looking over their shoulder, like kind of looking around their room. And you mentioned that place, that restaurant or whatever. There just seems to, but it's like even though it's a growing city, it's a small city overall compared to like
I mean, every time we go there, we run into people we know.
Right,
and we don't even live
you see famous people everywhere you go, but then you go on like Instagram. There's people that you know aren't necessarily quote unquote making it or not like crushing it by any means, but they pretend that they are, and then we like kind of like laugh at each other for it. But it's like, who do they think they're fooling, or does it annoy you? Is this just a part of it? Like LA has it too, right, or New York because of like modeling and actors. But they're massive cities.
LA's got it way worse than we do.
No. But it's such a big city that it's not as like obvious. Like you can go down the suggested rabbit hole on Instagram alone and meet everybody in Nashville with that quote unquote matters in terms of like being an influencer. Just quickly.
I've been there long enough that I'm out of the.
You're out of that like feel of that.
I'm out of the having to be seen all the time thing. Like I have people I work with and the people I write with, and I know all of the artists too.
Right.
So like I don't have to do as much of that anymore.
That's nice.
I don't have to do as much of the whole like making sure that I'm like
seen
in the like the machine. Like you can go to a showcase every night, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
I don't have to do any of that anymore. Man, it's really hard to get. I mean, I've done it for 3 years now. Try to be an artist in Nashville, and it's not easy. And I think I've been really lucky to like make a living as a writer, but it's so hard to like the gap between somebody like, I'll just use Maren as an example. Somebody like Maren who's at the top right now, and somebody who is even just on the radio but hasn't had a hit yet, like that gap is enormous. Like I feel like I had a top 20 this year, and I feel like the gap between like a top 20 song and a number 1 song is like the Grand Canyon. And so I don't like begrudge people for like trying to build a fan base by like using their phone, like whatever they have at their fingertips, which is like their phone, whatever. Like it's hard to get on the radio. It's hard to get your song placed in these playlists. It's not an easy thing because, I mean, look at how many people move to Nashville every day trying to make a dream come true. So that's my like disclaimer, but you're very right where it's like there is this element of like you're trying to create a brand based on just letting people see every single part of your life, whether that's writing a song or like going to the gym or whatever.
Yeah.
I think that like you're right. It's not fooling anybody, but you're trying to like endear people to you as a human, so that they become massively loyal to your songs. And I just have kind of gone the opposite way.
Let
I've
the
been
songs
like
speak for themselves.
a writer who's found some success writing songs for other people, and then that's kind of opened doors for me as an artist. And I've found that people fall in love with my songs much more so than they fall in love with me, and that's a cool thing too. I don't know. It's hard. The fake it till you make it thing is like I'm like thinking of artists in my head that like
you can name them.
I'm not gonna do that. I would accuse them of doing that, but also it's like maybe I'm 33 and.
Well, part of it is just, I mean, for us, it's like living on the internet every day for 15,
Sure.
16 hours a day. We see it. So, like, some of the stuff we might have been clouded by 4 years ago, now it's like crystal clear. We know bullshit when we see it right away, this and that. And it's like, for us, the most obvious is like when the music's good and the music's consistent and there's no bullshit behind it, it just, that's always going to win.
Yeah.
So, there's a lot of artists, and like, speaking of people at the top of their game, whether it's, you know, Eric Church never once ever has like tweeted anything.
Yeah.
Like himself. Never has posted anything himself on Instagram, or Sturgill Simpson doesn't even have a Twitter account, or Tyler Childers occasionally posts some weird shit, but like, just like these people.
Sturgill, you remember why Sturgill doesn't have a Twitter account?
What was the Twitter search?
Trouble.
I know he was. Was he in Japan the last time, like years ago, when he was posting stuff and then he like deleted everything?
He like found basically a burner account and then like he got.
Is he running Where the Fuck is Sturgill Simpson? Because they follow us and they're like seem to have like inside information.
I don't know about anything, but Tyler Coe was just talking about like when he had his like weird anonymous account, like Sturgill like responded to like his thing, and then like Sturgill went crazy on him, and then like the next thing you knew, like he deleted it.
Kevin Durant got caught with a burner account, and he's like, "Yeah, I have one."
Could you imagine if I had a burner account?
What would you even do it?
I don't know.
You could poke fun, like if you have like an argument in your head, but the funny thing is just like that. Yeah, I mean, point being is just like the music matters, and the good music sticks, and like these like shticks don't. We know that. That's why we kind of like now like laugh when we see it if it's really egregiously like ridiculous.
What I don't buy into is like label hype, like somebody like putting out an artist into the radio world. And then they'll like through all of their team, like basically the connections of their manager and their label, they'll get stuck on every tour.
Or open up for Garth Brooks.
Yeah, I mean we were going to talk about we've shit on these guys, quite a bit, but like you don't have to participate in this quick like little detour, but the King Calloway guys, like that's such I eviscerated them their first time, and I'm like they couldn't sell 10 tickets.
They couldn't.
So it's like
a bar in their hometown.
They're opening for
exactly.
They don't have a and then they're opening for Garth Brooks at the fucking Twins Stadium in Minnesota, right? Is that weird?
I mean that's a different deal. They're all sweet dudes. They are just like everybody else trying to get their foot.
But that's like a crazy thing for fans to conceptualize. Cause we gauge the reaction when we posted about it. People were like, wait, what? Like who is it? Like people want to like. I mean Chase just opened for him in Detroit. Yeah. So people at least kind of like, oh yeah, I know Chase, right? Like, type of thing.
Yeah.
When that gets pushed as like the next coming of fucking Alabama, like that's how the press releases come in.
Well,
like this is Alabama. Like this is the greatest country group of all time. I'm like, come on.
So, what I think about,
they can harmonize. It's beautiful. It's just like fucking room temperature butter.
When I think about people that move the needle for me, I mean, really, what I care about as an artist, and what I look at dudes like Hardy, or like, do you sell tickets?
Yeah.
Do people listen? Like I have Nico Moon out with me right now. Nico's awesome. He's so good. He plays. It's like basically like hip hop drums with country, like with just country musicality over it. But all the lyrics are super country. He is from Atlanta. He's awesome. He wrote like a ton of Zach Brown hits. I know you guys have made yourselves very clear about Zach.
I mean, everybody loves Zach Brown, but
he wrote Homegrown and he wrote Keep Me in Mind.
Great songs.
Those are both good.
Nico's awesome, but I look at like people listen to that shit. They listen to his music on like they stream it, and that's what we look at is just like, do they listen to it, and do they buy tickets? And that to me is like, there's only one way to go about doing that, man, and that's trying to.
Yeah.
Like you gotta go try. You gotta go out. You gotta hustle on the playlist. You gotta hustle on the radio. And then you just gotta go take a couple risks, man. I played a couple shows last year where I was like, what the fuck am I doing here? And like 100 people showed up, and I was like, I am out here with a bus.
But if you get 100 new fans out of that, or even 50 or 20.
You hope so.
Yeah.
But it's not fun playing for 20 people.
I mean, dude. I think there's something to be said though about like,
it's not fun playing for like, no matter what, if it's a half full room, if there's supposed to be 1,000 people and there's 500, it's hard. It's a lot of work.
It's mentally probably like
that's
fucking like.
But then you go, like I'm sold out through, like half of this tour is sold out. And the only reason that it is because we went and tried. We put out songs that connected with people and like, I'm not the most, like, I don't have the most buzz out of anybody. I don't get picked for anything. I feel like, you know, like New Faces came in 6th out of, you know, they take the top 5. New male artist, I make the 2nd round of cuts, but I don't get nominated for that. I don't get nominated for anything, and I'm okay with that because I feel like we're building something really important. And there's like people who get that kind of recognition have like massive like number 1s and whatever, but like we're sold out. We've never had anything more than To a T being a number 20. Didn't even go to 19.
Yeah.
And I think that that's just because we've gone out and really just tried to do it. And we've been really lucky that people have like responded. And like 2 nights at Joe's, I don't know the last time that anyone's done 2 nights at Joe's on weed. Like that, because I keep up with like, that's like the coolest club to me in the whole world. And, but like, it was important. I was like, man, you should go to live. Man, I just think it'd be cool to be like the guy that did 2 nights at Joe's on weed. That to me is like fun, but I just feel like the best way to do this, you're right, you can't trick people into becoming successful in music. The only way to do it is the way that like guys like Michael, guys like, I don't know, I'm trying to think. Hardy's the dude that's like killing it right now. So I look at him and then I like look at like what we're doing and it's just, that's really the only way to go about it, man. I mean, Lauren Elena's like, she's doing her own club tour right now, and she's like going out there and building, like she's open for everybody, and now it's time for her to go like build, and she's doing a great job. And you sort of figure out like the people that get it and the people that don't really fast.
Well, even actually, I'll say this about you, because I think we're very big proponents right now of like, get your ass in a van and go and tour and like build fans.
Yeah.
Just build fans. Like, people will see you, and it's very hard. Yeah. But we saw you at a writer's round with, first time I think we ever saw you perform. A writer's round with Brett James,
yes,
Lee Thomas
cool.
Miller,
CMA Songwriter Series.
And you were just first starting out.
I don't even know if you had a Twitter, because it was like Hurd Jams or something.
Dude, I miss Hurd Jams. I really wish I would have kept it.
But you sang some shit, and we both looked at each other like, who the fuck is this guy?
That was hard.
And we could tell you were nervous because you were just starting out doing that state. Like you weren't like you were clearly just a songwriter.
Yeah.
So,
but I remember walking away from that and being like, damn, I gotta find out who this dude is.
Learned a lot that night because you're going up against dudes that just play the radio.
Yeah.
Because they have
like
so many hits. Right.
Brett James like Kenny Chesney hits.
Carrie Underwood.
Yeah.
And they tell amazing stories about the song and all that, and it's cool. But then, like, for me to be like, I gotta go hold my own, and I have had to do that for the last 3 years, where it's like I'm opening for Thomas Rhett. No one knows who I am. No one knows any of my songs. I'm not on the radio. Okay, here we go. And then like I learned a lot watching Russ. Just Russ is one of those dudes. Got in a van. Russ has earned everything he has, he's earned. He toured in a van for like 3 years.
His wife driving.
With his wife, doing all the photos. They pounded it. They were playing for 50, 100 people a night for years.
Two of the nicest people we've ever met. Yeah. Easily.
They've earned it. But you go out there and you just, and I did it with Chase Rice, I did it with FGL, you just try hard, man. Yeah. And then I opened for Old Dominion that's when I felt it turn, was like, I did like my headline stuff a year ago, club, tour, but it was sort of all thrown together. I'm learning, man. This is a hard thing to know how to do. People who are like naturally gifted at it, like Maren, who knows how to do every single part of this, I'm not that dude. And I feel like it clicked a little bit this fall with Old Dominion because I had like 25 minutes. But like I had 6 songs that people knew. And like if they didn't know, they either knew To a T, everyone knew that song. But then like most of the people knew a couple other ones. And that's huge. And I get to play like the Luke Bryan song and people dig that. And then they're like, oh, that's cool, he wrote that song. And then some people, you'll say, I wrote this song. And some people will be like, why is he playing a Luke Bryan? Like,
right.
It still goes over people's heads.
Yeah.
But it's sort of, you kind of, I remember for Russ, it clicked on that Thomas Rhett tour. Where like he would walk out and just own it. And I did not feel like, I'm still like, I'm not that dude. And I actually learned a lot. It's like, I cannot out-Russell Russell.
Yeah,
he's so good live. He's so good at his thing. I gotta be like, what's my thing? And my thing, like last year was like, man, I gotta just get a guitar back on and like be.
I was gonna say that's what when I think of you, that's like what I
in like a
want to
tank
hear.
top with a guitar and just
like
go out
let
there
it
and jam.
Be a songwriter
and like that's.
I want to be a songwriter up there.
That also like real quick from like the fans perspective. We always consider ourselves fans first, and I think that's why Whiskey Riff works. But like
I agree.
We always but like when an artist is on stage, we always talk about the live show. Like when an artist is on stage and it's like too choreographed or too that comes across so quickly. I feel like a fan that actually knows what they're looking at. Like it just doesn't have that like visceral feeling, that like rawness that kind of like sticks with you.
I think especially in a club too.
Yeah.
People expect it to be a little sticky.
And I mentioned Chesney for a second briefly, but like that guy, for however he does it, when we seen him at Soldier Field, or I mean, you can have shitty seats, and we did, and we like,
and you loved it,
and it's just felt close, right?
Sure.
But we've seen other people in massive stadiums that like.
Eric can do that too.
Eric can do that, but that is a fucking difficult task to have a big room and make it feel small. You always hear about that, right? So it's just not like a lot of people can do that. And I think especially in country music, like. That's what we kind of as fans, as we've gotten older, that we appreciate the fuck out of that type of thing.
Especially in the way country music does and or should hinge on storytelling and great songwriting.
Yeah.
Like, you're here almost to hear the story in a way. And yeah, you want to have a good time and drink some beer and shake your ass a little bit. But like, at the same time, country music songwriting is like the crux of what country music is.
Sure. And so that's what I do. And that's how I got my...
You still consider yourself like I'm a songwriter, but I want to perform. I want to get like do my thing, but
it's
like you're always like I'm a songwriter.
Shoes, man. You got a left one and a right one. That's how I feel like that's me. Like left side is writing, and that's how I kind of measure myself. And then the right side is the artist part. You can't have one shoe, man. That's how I feel about my music. But
are you still in like writers' rooms with other guys every damn day almost,
or
not when you're touring?
Actually, for 2 reasons. I'm busy.
Yeah.
And I found that I'm better. I found that I'm better if I write less.
Yeah.
Fresher. So it's man. I don't know. I just the live thing, man. I've the more.
It's getting fun.
It's so fun. Right. I am nervous every day though. Right?
Really?
Yeah, man. It's like I still, even if it's sold out, I'm like, I don't think anyone's gonna come.
Yeah.
I still am like, they're gonna find something else to do. I'm still new at this, and I just get the show itself. Like I'm not a great guitar player, but I play guitar in my band, and so that makes me nervous. And like there have been we played Nashville and we just burnt it to the fucking ground, and it was so fun. It was great, probably the best show we've ever played. And I went to Memphis the next night, and like I had a guy tweet me after the show. I was like, "You were off, man," and I was like, "I kind of was off. Like I kind of copped to it. I was like, dude, I'm sorry. Like that's live music.
Yeah.
But it was live music, and you're like, okay, and but I do get nervous, and but it's funny that if you have a show like that where you're like, man, I was kind of off, and then we did one in Louisville, which was like a great show, but I felt like I was awkward, like felt like I was the one who was like talking either too much or said a weird thing, and I was like, hey, you know, I end the show with a song I wrote called "Wish for the World." It's just a cool way, like I don't know, I'm not coming back out for a fucking encore.
Yeah.
That's just.
Yeah.
What do you got? I already played all the songs. I don't have any more songs, so there's no point.
Yeah.
So I stopped. I end the show acoustic every time.
Oh, cool.
And,
That's a cool move.
Yeah, and it has worked for me. And I just remember being like, I'm sorry, like this is how I end the show. I know I'm kind of awkward, but hope that you all had a wonderful time. Like this is my prayer for all of you as you go home tonight. I hope you had partied if you wanted to, but this, you know, this is from me to you. And walk out in the parking lot. I was actually getting in a car to go home from Louisville because it's like 2.5 hours. So I jumped in a car and like saw some fans in the parking lot. And they're like, dude, you weren't awkward. That was amazing. And so I realized that like when I feel like I'm having an off show or something, these people are soaking up the human parts of my show. Like I'm not super slick.
Well, even I would say the conversation, not to interrupt you, but like talking to people, I always find that really enjoyable from an artist. Yeah. Like if you just go from one song to the next and don't say a word. Some guys can do that really well and it's fine, but like
if you got the receipts, if you got the goods, you can do that. If you're Brian, you should probably say.
You mentioned the back-to-back shows at Joe's, and like for me, like I was trying to think, I was like, I don't. But Charlie Worsham, Sam Hunt, and Kip Moore played two back-to-back nights there.
Sam Hunt.
Well,
that's good company.
Well, when Charlie Worsham came out, and he kind of was just fucking around the guitar, and then he started with the front row before the band actually, like the lights come on. Yeah. He's just grabbing the pitcher, drinking some, fist pound, quick foot, like, and he was just doing that, interacting. We're just like, and he's just like.
Charlie's like the most talented guy.
Yeah, he's just like. Nashville.
Do you guys know about King Billy?
No.
Sounds familiar.
Dude. King Billy was a band that never got a record deal. It was
Billy Strings.
It was John Osborne.
I was gonna say John and Charlie.
Josh Matheny on dobro. What's his name?
It just
Matt from Hunter's band playing bass. And who was the drummer? I can't remember the drummer's name, but it was like literally like the most amazing country music band you've ever seen.
Well, Charlie and Brothers Osborne were roommates, right, back in the day.
Yeah, and it was called King Billy. They lived.
That's a good name.
On Villa. They were fucking awesome, and I saw them. They were so good, and I was like, "Who are these guys?"
Almost too good, so they all were like, "We're gonna go start our own."
Well, they were just missing TJ.
Yeah,
he wasn't in the band.
Yeah.
So when they started Bros, it like all clicked, you know. And even Bros didn't work for a second, you know. They put out two or three singles first.
I mean, I like
Ron was their first one, right?
Yeah, but that's another just an example of like it's really hard to do.
I know those guys like
those are the most talented dudes you ever meet.
We love those guys.
Still didn't work.
I mean, they might be in my top 5 right now. Like, and for the last 5 years, like
just consistent and just fucking just.
I mean, every time John starts playing a guitar, my pants just get real tight. Like, I'm not gonna lie.
Those are probably the cuts I'm most proud of.
Yeah.
I was like those ones that they're on. The ones that I wrote.
Grass is greener.
I wrote Greener Pastures.
Greener Pastures.
And then all my favorite people that they're on.
Yeah.
And fuck, man,
All My Favorite People is a great song too.
Yeah, man,
We're nearing an hour, and that's gotta be your time to go. So.
Man.
But we gotta talk about the Cubs quickly. You got a Murphy's shirt on. One, we gotta do a Cubs thing, right? So you did a thing with like your family last year. We guys all did your all.
Yeah, I got to sing the 7th inning stretch.
Right.
I got to sing Harry Carey.
Well, us 3 should go. Maybe bring the ladies. We'll have to see. Maybe not.
Yeah, we'll do it.
We should do like a Cubs thing. But are you planning on going to any games?
I am.
Summer. Or
I always do. So Smokeout this year is. They're gonna be they're on the road during Smokeout. So that's tough.
Fuck, yeah.
And then. I think I'm back in May with 95.5, so I think potentially I could go then, and then, but Maren's doing the Highwaymen are opening for Stapleton in August.
Ooh.
So I'm gonna be at that show at Wrigley.
Oh, at Wrigley, yeah. We're gonna
figure out a way to. I'm throwing the Murphy's party. So, text me when you guys get there and come rage.
Cole Swindell took us upstairs. We didn't know what the hell there was an upstairs in like an apartment where the fucking
Cole took us there when the Braves were in town.
Yeah. It's
fun.
The guy's like, oh, this piano is.
I've seen that in a Brett Eldridge video.
Oh no, was it him or
Eddie Vedder
or John Lester playing a drum?
That apartment has so many stories, and I just they're so nice at Murphy's.
Oh, that was
so
great. Yeah.
Being down there too.
I had a fan club party there last year, just like impromptu. Like, hey, come on down to get a beer. It was awesome. But
good season.
Cubs are so good at just taking care of people, and obviously, like I am, like was born in Chicago, have a lot of Chicago roots. So it's cool to.
Do you have any friends on the team?
I am friends with like guys in the front office.
Yeah. That's the way to go, I guess.
Yeah.
That's what we needed to
do. So
we'll talk later.
Hamels is cool. I've like texted with Hamels a little bit. I'm actually the guys that I.
He's in Atlanta now, right?
Yeah, he's in Atlanta now. And actually pretty good.
And he's heard already. Theo knew something.
Theo stopped.
Yeah.
See ya. We can't spend the money.
18 is pretty steep for. Well,
way too steep.
They didn't sign anybody.
That's what
didn't sign anybody.
Well, it's this bullshit that the whole Wes and I talk about the whole with luxury tax.
Yeah, nobody wants to spend the luxury tax on somebody that's not going to win the series.
That is like the misconception for fans. Like, oh, they can't. And it was like, no, like the owner could just be like, here's money.
Yeah.
Go do whatever the fuck.
They could pony up more if they wanted to.
It might not. I think honestly, dude. I know a couple of people with the Reds. I think the Reds are gonna have a really big year.
So they made a lot of signings, but the Pacoda thing that like is like the super analytical, pretty accurate.
Sure.
They had the Cubs winning the division, I think, and they had a lot of the guys.
There's no reason they shouldn't. Like all the talent,
and like
the talent on that team.
I know. I mean, I hope, but
I don't know how much a manager actually matters in baseball. But
one game that's been proven scientifically. Like
one whole game.
One game. A manager can influence like at the end of the year when you take everything into account. Like they can win or lose you like one game.
Mindset too, maybe like.
But they can destroy a pitcher's arm. So there's like this weird gray area of like.
Yeah. How much?
Like how can they actually win a game by making these like perfect calls? Like you're talking about like poker player type stuff. Sure. But
I think that team just needs a reset.
Well, that's what Javi Baez is like. Yeah. I didn't feel loose till the fifth inning every game last year.
Huh.
And then they asked Joe Madden, but he's like, that's news to me. Like,
right?
Because Joe Madden threw the Cubs under the bus a couple weeks ago, and then like some
Cubs threw him under the bus.
Yeah, they started to do it. But I love Joe. I mean, he brought a fucking World Series here. Yeah. Like so.
Well, you know what?
Everybody loves Joe.
You stay a fan for whatever.
5 years is the for a manager 5.
Yeah, you stay a fan, but like honestly, like 2016 happened.
Yeah.
I mean, come on. Like
it's quick.
Who cares? You're not gonna win it every year.
Yeah.
And you can die.
I felt
with that tattoo on your chest.
2017, we were like, who gives a shit?
Yeah. I barely paid attention because my whole life was like
just this like
stressed out.
I did get a McLeod got me when I threw out the first pitch twice, and I've sung they reached out, you want to throw the first pitch again? And I was like, I want to tell me how famous I need to get to do the stretch, because that's all I care about. Like
some pretty non-famous people that do that shit.
Yeah, there's like Boy Scout troops.
So you can do it. That's why I was like, sign me up. I will be there, and but they give you a jersey if you do that. And I was like, I already have the Ryan jersey, and I fucked up because my high school number was 23 in baseball. And I got, what is your number? I got 23. So I got the Ryan Sandberg jersey with my name on the back.
Oh,
faux pas. Understood.
Oh, people call you out when you're walking around with that?
Yeah, people are cool. But,
that's not
one
of those after the fact, like, oh, what the fuck?
Right. I was like, I should have done that. But I was like, I already have, like, the Hurd jersey. Can I get a KB jersey? And they're like, yeah. And so Becca comes up and gives me the jersey. And I looked at Jason. I was like, will you go get it signed for me? And so KB, I said, can you get him to write 2016 MVP? And he went down in the clubhouse, comes back out, and says 2016 MVP, Chris Bryant. Yes. So I have that one.
Yeah, I pictured you. I pictured you mingling. You know.
No, I'm terrified of those people. Like Dude.
We saw
it's the Cubs. They're baseball players.
We saw Ross and Dempster at Smokeout last year.
They follow Whiskey Riff after we met at Smokeout.
Yeah.
They both follow Whiskey Riff after we met. They're like, dude, you guys are fucking. I'm like, wait, what?
Yeah, but it's
and 3 months later, Ross gets named manager. I was like, yeah.
But they're just. I've been texting with like Pete Alonso. He sent me a jersey from the Mets.
Yeah.
Austin Riley from the Braves. I grew up a Braves fan because we lived in Michigan and Chicago, but my uncle would fly us down to Atlanta all the time to go to like the World Series and All-Star game. So Best Buy Ray Silva, who's a Chicago guy at Lake Shake this year, he surprised me with a chipper signed jersey.
Oh, nice.
So I got that one is going in. KB is getting framed, and then I think we're doing the Peckett Rene Nashville Predators jersey. So that's my new hobby, sports-wise. It's like finding ways to like
building the man cave.
Right. Finding ways to get like the jersey signed. Like I don't want to buy them. I want to figure out. Like I want to like network. That's my thing.
I feel like you got a good head start.
Yeah,
I just very good.
You gotta like figure it out. That's fun for me. I love baseball and like I don't care if you aren't a Cubs fan. I've been to Yankee Stadium.
Fenway.
It's cool. I've been to Fenway. I've never been to a game in Fenway.
Neither have I.
There's just Wrigley Field and everything around it.
The smell
is just
everything.
I think it's the pinnacle of American sports. I really do. I think it's the greatest place to see a sporting event in our country. If you have never seen a baseball game and you go to Wrigley Field, you have no idea what's going on. You'll have the best time.
Yeah,
that you've ever
and
had.
they've done such a great job, even with the enhancements, still keeping that
Great
feel.
Yeah.
Like you see,
Still
the
feel
jumbotron
like
is so important now. I'm like, wow, this is amazing. But you still feel like you're in Wrigley, and even in the area, how nice it got around, it still feels like Wrigleyville.
You go to Yankee Stadium, man, and I've only been to it one time, but it's like, this is it. Like it's super nice. It feels super Jersey to me. It's like
You're already. You're
it's
pretty
kinda
out
like
there
a
though, in the Bronx,
circus.
right? Yeah.
Well, actually, it's not that far from like Manhattan. It's like
I guess it depends.
right across the bridge from
okay.
Manhattan. But it feels like a circus, and like I had really nice tickets, but it was so hot in the summertime because of the way that it's all positioned. Like we just watched the game in that fancy ass bar, just on TV. It's going on like right out there.
Oh yeah,
everybody watches it in the bar.
Yeah.
That's why you never see anybody in the seats. All the fans are up top. Because I mean, it's like $1,000s to sit there.
They didn't when they rebuilt it, right? They
On
didn't
Tuesday.
keep. They maybe just took that like I'll feel like the plaques and they brought it in, but I don't think they kept where the Wrigley kind of like built within and.
Yeah.
We had concrete blocks falling on people not that long ago.
I mean, they knocked down every damn building around it and built those up, but the
Yeah.
stadium more or less stayed kind of the same.
Yeah, you make the enhancements so people don't die from falling stuff.
Yeah.
You know?
The netting is important.
Yeah.
I like the
Oh,
netting.
that was a great call because that girl is supposedly the guy that Al Mora hit. Like she's forever gonna have seizures. They said so. It's like fuck.
People
like,
who are upset about this are idiots.
you can see everything
They're
through
fucking
it.
idiots.
You can
It
see
bothered. I
everything.
saw some tweet. I was so mad. I was like, Maren was like, do not respond to that. Like, but I was so mad. He's like saying it's like a matter of personal responsibility. It's like these are professional athletes that you're launching baseballs into the into the crowd. How are they supposed to like?
They all go into the third base and first base.
They need to go all the way down.
But it's like that girl got hit. I think she was in between third and home. Like it was like right there.
If you watch from behind the plate,
and
you get used to it.
And that piece of shit that he's not on the Cubs anymore, but Addison Russell, like he used to throw his bat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like all the time.
It'd slip
like
out his hands.
Bat, like
right.
all the time.
I just put the nets down. You'll get used to it.
You can see through that too.
It's not hard. It's you're still at Wrigley.
They act like it's not like a chain link fence. It's like so thin.
Yeah.
It's just enough to like save your life basically, or save your eyes.
You see it through it. You get used to it. It's like looking through this window. You don't even notice it.
Right.
That's me. I have a lot of opinions about sports, man.
Well,
fuck the Astros.
Oh yeah, we're gonna have to fuck them, right?
They're horrible.
They're gonna get beaten a lot, hopefully.
Well, I don't think they are, because I do think that it's like Francona and Madden are like, we don't want to be the one. They don't want to like give up games just to.
Yeah.
Everybody's so analytic driven now that it's like they don't want to put people on base.
Yeah, that's true.
But
I mean, spring training they're letting them.
But you get one of these old hard
have
asses.
you seen all these Houston homers? Like every time I see somebody defending the Astros, it's like 14-10 Houston sports Rockets Astros. You're like, oh my god. It's like the biggest homer bullshit.
This
radio nonsense I've ever seen. It's like you guys defending. Everyone should just get over it. And like I don't think they should be stripped of those series, but I think it should be $100 million fine to the organization. And I honestly think like
it can't make the playoffs.
If you can make Donald Sterling sell his team for being a racist dirtbag, then you can make Jim Crane sell his team for propagating the most heinous cheating scandal in the history of American sports.
Right, and a guy had a great analogy who was kind of unbiased, like I don't want to say it was Jeff Bissonnette, or one of these NFL beat writers that's like very well respected, and he would just like weigh in. He was like, "This is the equivalent of if in the NFL, team makes the playoffs, wins the Super Bowl, but the entire time they were tapping into the other team's headsets.
Exactly.
They
knew every play that was coming.
They knew if it was going to be a run, left or right, a pass, a play action, a deep ball, a fake, a this or that, a bootleg or whatever.
Did you see
also
that?
In Game 5, did you see that against the Dodgers in the World Series?
Oh,
2017, Kershaw did not have a single swinging miss on a breaking ball. Are you kidding me?
They took every
the greatest
single
lefty in the last
51
after he murdered the Cubs in the series before that.
51 breaking balls and there were 0 swings.
Right.
Unbelievable.
Bullshit. That doesn't happen.
Unbelievable.
It just doesn't happen with a guy that's a Hall of Famer.
I just don't know how you can defend it in any way. Like I honestly, I'm like I don't want the series.
Well, Crane said it would blow.
And they're super smart.
Crane said it would blow over by spring training. His publicist or like the PR team or whatever, they're like, no, it's not, dude. Like he's like, it'll blow over. Don't spend any more time on it, and then boom, like.
The players. I can't believe that none of the players got
like. That's the most insane. Jose Canseco's a psycho, or he's hilarious, but he's like out there on Twitter.
Oh yeah, I saw it.
But stuff he was
probably
saying,
not the arbitrator of.
But the stuff he was saying for once
that's
about
this,
he was making a lot of sense. He was like, when it came to steroids, all the players' fault.
Now it's all ownership.
It was state sponsored, man.
Yeah,
top to bottom, conspiracy. That's honestly You could make a case
30 for 30 on
at least Houston's not selling the old NL Central. Remember that? Remember those?
Oh, yeah, it's a fraud. I think it is. I don't know. I honestly think like that. If you could,
I think they will strip the title eventually. No. I think it will. Well, this guy like.
Manfred looked like an idiot, didn't he?
Well, if he gets let go eventually, which a lot of people are saying it might happen, like I could see another guy coming in that's just like stamp of like I'm here, like he strips that.
Yeah, I think it's too late.
But it's too late. But it still is like more like a. All right, Ryan.
You guys are awesome.
Well over an hour. That's the longest one we had. 1:11. Good luck. I'm a big 1-1-1-1-1 guy.
Oh,
thanks, dude.
Appreciate you guys. You guys pounded. You guys got 6 beers in or 7, and I got 5. Almost 1.
There we go. You got a long day, right? You gotta go do stuff.
Dude, this is a pretty easy job. You just hang out all day. Google Us is playing tonight.